Friday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Redmond, Andreu, Severe, Onofre, Myers, Johnson, Cunningham, Odell, Hunter, Colby, Crowther, Lee, Profina, Lawrence, Juarez, Johnson, Rainey, Orestes, and Guerrero. Round out the 20 participants here tonight. With 3 minutes left to go, can anybody throw down against Nathaniel Redmond and his 1:37.577? That'll be the best time. Onofre trying to do his best, driving the ghostly 199 Rexy machine. There was 16 thousandths separating himself from Nathaniel Redmond in P1. Closing the gap and doing their darndest right now to get up to that front row. 4/10 back nearly right now, and has Myers quick on their hair. Brennan Myers quick on the heels in the number 23 machine. Final corner, final time by for Andreu, or will it be this one plus one more for the man in yellow? Wowza, mounting over the curbs and is absolutely going for it. On board now. Finds P3 in front of Aliski Andreu right now, who has a bit of a moment coming out of the Spitz car. Quick little kick to the right before you get to the sharp 90-degree left-hander here with a mean sausage on the inside line. It's a mad dash to the mobile one curve. Again, overtaking opportunities can present themselves at any one of those braking zones. Now through the Sox curve. Stitch this one together. He had that moment at the Spitz curve. And now can they stitch it together in the final sector? Just needs a tilt and a bit when they get to the line. Will it be enough for the man in yellow? A 1:38.44. Won that last time around will not be any improvement. So Michael forward. Nathaniel Redmond was bested by Edwin Onofre while we were on board. A 1:37.507 set by Onofre got in front of Nathaniel Redmond here in the number 6. Checkered flag is out for the session. Nathaniel Redmond is going to remain 70 thousandths behind his opponent on that front row here at the Hockenheim ring. Michael Odell in the 197 is going to be in third and Brendan Myers in fourth. Aliski Andreu gets bumped back to fifth position. Redmond is actually going faster on this lap. Is this going to be a valid time? 55 seconds remaining. And that won't be a valid time for Redmond nor for Aliski Andreu at the end of the day. Let's take a look at the results. Take a look at the grid. Excuse me. Edwin Otterfree alongside Nathaniel Redmond in that first row. On that second row, Michael Odell and Brennan Myers in 3 and 4. On the third, it'll be Aliski Andreu and Zach Severe. On the fourth, Derek Johnson and Dylan Lee. On the fifth, Connor Cunningham and Josh Hunter. Nico Colby and Mitch Crowther on the sixth. Seventh belonged to Lewis Holloway and Anders Profina. Eighth belonging to George Lawrence and Colton Juarez. Ninth for Joe Rainey and Miles Guerrero. 10 for Warren Johnson and Sergio Orestes. Like the 45 minutes pit speed limit of 50 miles per hour, unlimited tire sets, one competition caution, which is unique to road racing. Comes up with three iRacing. Drivers can take what they like and what they don't like and go from there. A gaggle of Porsche sitting behind a Porsche safety car, nothing better you'd like to see on your Thursday evening. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is a B-Speed production brought to you in part by West Coast Sim Racing. Thank you very much for putting on such a wonderful league and putting together such a great grid of drivers. Edwin Otterfree and Nathaniel Redmond separated by just thousandths of a second on this front row. What does that mean for the race pace? Will mean that Michael Odell and Brendan Myers can close down the gap in this first half and potentially throw their elbows out for the win of the race. Let's go to the race track and see what they have in store. 199 to the inside line. That's Otterfree. Redmond on the outside, rocking that pit livery. And it's green, and a gets into a huge mix of cars, and we're going to go 3 wide further back. Connor Cunningham in the mix up there. The 5 Johnson, Mitch Crowther going head-to-head in their position battle. More battling up ahead between the 20 and the 8 as well. That'll be Johnson and Hunter exchanging a little bit of paint. That orange leading a nice big streak. It is getting a little spicy, and the race has only just begun, folks. We have plenty of time for things to fizzle out. On the first lap doesn't necessarily need to be that moment. And it will be Redmond going for a move on owner-free. A big look from that number 6 on the 199, who has its teeth wide open. The 23 trying to push the 199 along through, but it's just not enough. Bumping and bending there. Bumping from the 2-3 to the 199 to try to get a push along to the 6, but now the 2-3 of Brennan Myers is going to take advantage of the situation and go through on the slow car. Potentially conserving a little bit of his tires right now, backing down just a little bit, just potentially being a little bit more conservative than not, I think is what he is doing, trying to maybe hold back some tires for later on in this stage after the competition caution has taken place. Here's Hunter and Severe driving the 714 Iron Dame's machine in front of the bright orange number 20 that we saw getting elbows out with the mobile machine earlier. Leaving Derek Johnson in that number 8 well in the dust. Clearly having the lap pace over his opponents around him for now. Checking in with some other drivers as well. This will be Colton Juarez and Dylan Lee battling for 18th and 19th right now. Andreas Profina is up the road by 1.2 seconds. We're going to go wheel to wheel, but it'll be a succession there as we get to the following corner, as the 77 Colton Juarez in the Bell livery backs out pretty easily. Oh no, George Lawrence loses not one, but potentially 2 positions. Connor Cunningham tries to make it those 2. And 81 of George Lawrence is in 10th position for now. Connor Cunningham in the 11th spot. Malik wants to shake things up, even going as far as going airborne to make it happen. On board with the 502 of Connor Cunningham. Joe Rainey behind. In tow. Cunningham chases down Lawrence. Lewis Holloway up front. Mitch Crowther up the road as well, not out of touch. is the battle for 8th all the way to 12th currently. Cheers for Sergio in the YouTube chat. Sergio Arresto is currently running in 18th position. Hold on, folks. A little bit of a mix-up here between Josh Hunter and Zach Severe as Hunter gets by Severe finally in the 7-1-4. Battle for the lead, separated by 0.4 of a second. Brennan Myers 1.5 seconds back from this battle. Edwin Onofre in tow there. A little bit of pocket sand being thrown up to the cars behind. Sergio Orestes in a little bit of a gaggle right now, including Lightning McQueen in the 95 Ka-Chow machine. That'll be Profina Andres. And Orestes holds back Dylan Lee and Colton Juarez, but can't attack Profina out in front. Aliski Andreu closes down his gap with Miles Guerrero in the 13th position, separating themselves by just 0.3 of a second currently. Whoa, what a big off there for Andreu. We go back over to the battle between the 20 and the 7-1-4. As Severe finally has the momentum to get by Josh Hunter. Hunter snaps right back immediately in retaliation. Secure P5 for now. Battle for the lead, separated by just about nil. Odell, Redmond, 0.2 between them. Well, that's nearly a blink of an eye. I think Redmond is doing a lot of lifting and coasting right now. Just watching his brake lights versus Odell. The wheel blend machine now goes for the outside line here. Will it be a switchback? There's not enough real estate to make it happen right at corner exit, but these are momentum cars. Can't really get a move done in one corner. You have to set yourself up a few corners back. I think that's exactly what Redmond is doing here. Now the pincer move is on for the 6. Doesn't go back over to the racing line like the 197 does. Goes to the apex and drives on through. It'll be Redmond in the lead of the race, and Odell now trying to snap back, goes over the sausage curbs, has a huge moment, able to recover, slips right back in behind the 6 of Redmond. Unbelievable recovery there. Brings in the lights of Brennan Myers, 0.9 away from the lead battle. And Edwin Onofre, who's been slipping further and further back, now has a chance at redemption. Positions gained and lost here on the left-hand side of your screen, folks. Redmond, Odell, Myers up 1, Onofre down 3. Josh Hunter now up 5 positions, Severe, Johnson, 0. Crowther up 4. About to make that 5 even. As Derek Johnson is under attack from the man wearing the stone cold shades. Eight tries to attack back, can't find the move just yet. It will be Crowther into P7 in front of his nemesis. Zach Severe, 3.6 seconds up the road. Can they work together to close down the gap? 33 minutes remaining. They can pray for the competition caution to come out in just about 5 minutes time to close down that gap, and we can resume the battling yet again. Dylan Lee on the heels, nipping away at Andreas Profina in the number 95. Battle for 15th and 16th position right now. Checking in with the battle for the lead of the race. There'll be a 1 second gap from Redmond to Michael Odell. And 4/10 back Brennan Myers. Edwin Onofre, 1.7 seconds back. Looking at the lap times, Edwin Onofre's best lap time is even a 1:38.2 compared to 1:37s of everybody else in front of him. So even though he's doing everything he can to maintain his speed, it's just not enough to stay within spinning distance of the guys in front of him. Maybe he is really hedging his bets on the competition caution coming out in just a few minutes' time. Lewis Holloway trying to attack Miles Guerrero in number 26. Guerrero defends steadfast. And Holloway in the blue pig, let's call it. Whoa, and a little bit of door banging between the 93 and a hip check on the rejoin there, but no love lost between two good friends on the racetrack. 26 does not retaliate. The 93 goes back single file. 95 in tow, the Rusty's machine, ka-chow. Now might be the opportunity for Lewis Holloway. Fully alongside the 26 can box him out from turning in at the opportune time. It's the apex, and that will be done and dusted for the 93 of Lewis Holloway. Guerrero still in the middle of a pack battle. Dylan Lee in the number 2 and Profina behind, not relenting. Profina behind in the 95, trying to get by. 96 of Guerrero. Could he possibly do it here and now? There's a late lunge from the 95. It might be in too deep. It is way too deep. And Guerrero immediately snaps back with that over-under. Battle for the lead here, separated by 9/10 of a second. Brennan Myers in P3. We saw some late stage kerfuffles, let's say, at Daytona last time out in the Porsche Cups. Hopefully, we don't have the same result during this race. It's been very clean up until this point, and we plan on keeping it green and clean for the remainder. Dylan Lee chasing down Lewis Holloway. Camber and Caster machine out in front. Really is under threat. Dylan Lee menacing right now. Last lap around 139.3 compared to Holloway's 140.9. And small mistake for a leader brings the gap down to 0.4 of a second. We'll stay glued onto this one for now because the move is brewing. Here comes the two of Lee on the number 93 of Holloway, side by side running. The 93 fends off the two for now. Checking back in with the leaders. It's been slinking in the way of Odell's favor for the past couple of laps, but it'll all come down to nothing at the end of the day once the competition caution comes out. Will it actually mean something for Odell to be in P2 and be able to close down the gap on Nathaniel Redmond? What I'm thinking is that he might just be using his tires a little too early on in this race. You know who's positioning himself really well right now? This man right here in the 199. Edmund Onofre. He's been picking up the pace slowly but surely. Now finally breaking into those 137s. Now into the 137.8s this last time by. So he knows he has the pace to keep up with the rest of them. Now he gets to prove it. Dylan Lee and Lewis Holloway will not separate themselves right now. Dylan Lee goes for the look on the number 93. Is it in too deep? No, it's perfectly put on the apex and parks it there, preventing the 93 from getting any way by. That'll be position gain for Lee. That'll be 13 overall, but the 93 switchback under braking, and then the 2 tries to go for a move right back, but to no avail. Bit of aggression coming out from Lewis right now, or from Dylan Lee, excuse me. As he's driving all over the road, trying to close down this gap on Lewis Holloway in front. Wowza, and there it is. The aggression finally boils over. Dylan Lee mounts the sausage, and that will be the end of that battle. Onofre, like I said, was picking up the pace in the last stage of this race. Now he's caught up to the likes of Brennan Myers in the number 23 red line machine. And there it is. The competition caution comes out, folks. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere under this competition caution. We'll be right back.
Trade for bananas?
Bananas? No thanks. Are you tired of lowball offers and no-shows? Here at VehicleBuyers.com, we make it fast and easy to sell your vehicle. Enter your vehicle information into our website and receive an offer for your vehicle. Our competitive offers ensure that you get the best deal possible. If you're ready to sell your vehicle, click the link below.
VehicleBuyers.com. Visit us today. Having trouble outfoxing the deals and the competition getting you all flustered? Time to be sly and visit Overstockvehicles.com. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. Overstockvehicles.com. Visit us today.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
And we are back, folks. Still under competition caution. The drivers getting that lucky dog or the wave around, however you'd like to dice it up. Nathaniel Redmond still leads over Michael Dell in P2, Brendan Myers in third, Edwin Onofre in fourth, Josh Hunter in fifth, Zach Sevier, Mitch Crowther, Derek Johnson, Connor T. Cunningham, Joe Rainey, Aliski Andreu, George Lawrence, Lewis Holloway, Colton Juarez, Dylan Lee, Andreas Profina, Miles Guerrero, Sergio Orestes, and Warren Johnson line up the 20 drivers. We'll get one more behind the safety car from the looks of it, folks. And that'll be a little under 20 to go by the time we go green. Black flag for Edwin Onofre. Oh no. And same for George Lawrence. Both drivers in the pit lane right now. Oh, man. They should be able to make it to the end on this tank, if I'm not mistaken. No scheduled pit stops at Daytona, so I wouldn't imagine there would be any here. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to walk you through from green to checkered flag for West Coast Sim Racing, race number 2 at the Hockenheim Ring. Lights are out on the safety car officially. We get ready to go green flag running in just a few moments' time as Daniel Redmond and Michael O'Dell control the field. See Onofre there all the way back in P14 now. Wheel blend number 6 is looking pretty dashing out there, I must say. Started in second, has led us for 9 of these laps so far. 9 of 15. Odell leading us for the remainder. To the final quarters we go. Safety car pulls in. We're ready to go racing, folks. Michael Odell in control of the field. And it's green, green, green here for West Coast Sim Racing. And it is a squabble again leading down towards the first quarter. The 714 gets dicey with the 23 of Brennan Myers already. And there is a huge kerfuffle there in the background. And Edwin Onofre seems to be collected in that one. Let's get a replay of this one here. Looks like super strange. In line. Now, Brennan Myers somehow, some way, has made his way back up into P2. He was battling for P5 off the rep with Zach Severe. Able to make his way through, and now has Nathaniel Redmond out in front. Severe nowhere to be found. 1.8 seconds back. Sergio Orestes, though, chasing down Lewis Holloway in a battle for the best of the rest. P4 There was a good look from the 81 of George Lawrence in the blue Red Bull machine, but he didn't want to go for a low percentage move just yet, with 14 and a half minutes left to go on the clock. Edwin Onofre on an amazing recovery drive, absolutely taken out just a few moments ago. Loses a fast repair, gets back out on track, finds P8. There's a look up ahead from George Lawrence on Colton Juarez, who forces himself to go wide. This is going to allow Edwin Onofre to find the right way around the outside. And it is also going to be the mobile of Derek Johnson getting through as well, not without a hit check to the 77, and his bad luck turns worse there. Taking another look at Lewis Holloway and Sergio Orestes. The Camber and Caster machine right in front of Sergio Orestes. Now Orestes looking left, looking right. Will park it on the apex. The number 86 goes through on the number 93. Might have been a little bit of team orders going on there, or perhaps not, as the Camber and Caster machines seemingly are not performing team orders as they give a little bump to one another. The 199 finds the fare and goes on board on the number 93 of Holloway, excuse me. 199 also trying to find a way through on the 86 of Sergio Orestes in front. Can Onofre recover into a top 5 position? Well, he already has with 12 minutes left to go. Holloway under attack now from the 197 of Michael O'Dell. Dell finds the inside line and snakes his way through pretty cleanly. Again on the attack, the Camber and Caster machine, but change for the lead as Nathaniel Redmond backs off and Brennan Myers able to go through. Let's get a replay of what happened here. Redmond in the lead. Comes through and just backs off. Lets the 20 through right on by. So very interesting, perhaps looking at fuel conservation with 10.5 minutes to go. Big look from the 8 of Johnson on the 81 of Lawrence. Holy Toledo, what a send into the final sector. It was mobile, not Red Bull at the end of the day when we got to the checkered line. 9:50 remaining on the clock, folks. Just a few more laps remaining. Can George Lawrence do any better than P9 as Derek Johnson closes the gap on Lewis Holloway in front in that camber and caster, number 93. Also, importantly, can Nathaniel Redmond close down the gap on Brennan Myers out in front? Michael Odell closing down on Onofre. Oh, big changes here. And there was a big change of position. Let's get a replay of what happened here, as this included quite a few cars. This is George Lawrence we're looking at now. Runs to the back of the 8 and stops there on the track, and the 73 goes around in avoidance as the 81 waits up for the 8. And yes, that is exactly what happened there. The 81 and the 8 resuming their battle. Nathaniel Redmond regains the gap with Brennan Myers, number 23, who's trying to walk away with a win this week. Last week, it wasn't so lucky for him. Cunningham running in the top 10, 4/10 back from Warren Johnson in the number 24 for West Coast Sim Racing. The Patagonia 502 look pretty good out there tonight. .650 remaining on the clock as the 502 closes down on the 24 Warren Johnson, but importantly enough, Taylor Redmond closes down on Brennan Myers out in the lead of this race. The Team Redline car can look, but it can't run forever because Nathaniel Redmond seemingly is just as quick. Last lap around, 137.9 compared to a 138.0 from Brennan Myers. Gap definitely coming down in the way of Redmond. Now, to the outside line, will it be able to work here at turn 6? I don't think so, but the switchback, not when you get over the sausages like that, will definitely hurt your charge coming to this straightaway. This driver is heavy on the brakes. You can see the pitch and roll of these Porsches as they hop, skip, and jump over these sausage curves everywhere you look. These drivers are pushing as hard as they possibly can. Nathaniel Redmond sure is, as he collects some kitty litter and bounces over the sausages, but stays within touching distance of Brennan Myers out in front. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, and we're as close as can be. There's a look for the 6, and they touch! They come together, and the 23 goes round, and Redmond keeps on going for now. Let's get a replay of that incident, folks. Side by side, I think the 23 came across, but I also think the 6 drifted wide. It's 2 does not go into 1 scenario. As Toto Wolff would say, you don't go too wide at cops, right? Or you don't stick a wheel up the inside of cops. Whatever Toto Wolff said, he was right. And that corner is much like the British known cops. It's not over yet for Edwin Onofre. He chases down Brendan Myers in that number 23, who's got some roasted tires. Could be back up to a podium for him even. Urban P2, Zach Severe is only a couple of tenths up the road, but with 3:50 remaining, it's enough time remaining on the clock. Is Edwin Onofre with enough tires remaining in that 199. Looking menacing on Zach Severe, leaving Edwin Onofre out of touching distance. Looks like the 23 is going to get a run on the 714 for now. Using the inside line and the side drafting to the maximum potential. Will the 199 follow through on the 23, or will the 74 box him out? 199 avoids the contact ensuing in front, but has to go somewhere. He backs up. There's a big look from the 23. And we're going to stamp and ascend on the 714, but it's clean as ever. And Myers recovers into P2. Coming on to the final lap. We will actually get a bonus lap, excuse me. We will go 26 laps of running. Michael O'Dell will get one more opportunity to get by Aliski Andreu. Will he need it? It doesn't look like it anymore. But opportunities for Edwin Onofre now. Can he still relinquish a podium tonight? Derek Johnson in that 8, giving a little bump to George Lawrence in the 81 out in front. And loss. Here's a run from the 199 on the 174 of Zach Severe. Coming into the final stages of the final lap. We will get that bonus lap, if I'm not mistaken, as it looks. Nathaniel Redmond will cross the line, and we will get one to go. The Barney is vigorously waving that white flag. Brendan Myers there in the background. Zach Severe and Edwin Onofre goes to the inside line there at the German cops. But he's able to go through and find P3. Crowther able to get through looks like the car behind of Dylan Lee has a big moment in the number 2. But for Nathaniel Redmond, it's been a hard-fought battle from green to checkered flag. He didn't do it all on his own. He needed some compliance from the cars around him. And I'm sure the stewards are going to have a look at his little exchange with Brendan Myers at the end of the day. We'll talk to him in just a few moments after the interview, but for now, Nathaniel Redmond is the winner here at Baden-Württemberg, Germany, at the Hockenheim Ring. Taking the checkered flag in the final corners. Best lap being a 1:37.5 here on lap 26. And Nathaniel Redmond can celebrate tonight and drink a whole lot of champagne, and Brendan Myers can as well. He can enjoy the celebrations with Edwin Onofre, who I'm sure is glad this is over. Zach Sevier in P4, Sergio Restes in 5th, Michael Odell in P6, Lewis Holloway, Aliski Andreu, Josh Hunter, Connor Cunningham, George Lawrence, Derek Johnson, Warren Johnson, Joe Rainey, Mitch Crowther, Dylan Lee, Miles Guerrero, Colton Juarez, and Andreas Profina. Let's get the results posted for you. Nathaniel Redmond in P1 and Brendan Myers in P2, starting in second, starting in fourth. Resulted in P1, P2 finishes. Edwin Onofre in third, Zach Sevier in fourth. Sergio Restes in fifth. Michael Odell in sixth. Lewis Holloway in seventh. Aliski Andreu in eighth. Josh Hunter in ninth. Connor Cunningham in 10th. 11th going to George Lawrence, Derek Johnson, Joe Rainey, Mitch Crowther, Warren Johnson, Dylan Lee, Miles Guerrero, Colton Juarez, Andreas Profina, and Nico Colby, rounding out the 20 participants tonight. Alrighty, folks, let's get ready for our driver interviews in just a few moments, waiting for them to get populated, and we'll be ready to go. Actually, we don't need to wait because they're already here. We're ready to rip, folks. Let's start with our third place winner. It'll be Edwin Onofre. Edwin, do you have a copy? Man, Edwin, you had a roller coaster of a ride tonight. I mean, just talk to us about your race. You started in first, you ended up in third.
So I was panicking during the warm-up grid, trying to add more fuel, but I keep getting a failed inspection because the height was invalid. So I was panicking, and I only had enough to add in for like like 5 less laps, unfortunately. So I had to come down and pit, and I ended up getting the black flag while we're at it too. But I was like, I might as well go ahead and try to take a left front tire while we're at it because I was going to end up at the back of the pack anyway after the pit stop cycle. So I was trying to save fuel the beginning of the first half of the race, And that did kind of make me spend less time at pit road. Although, albeit with that black flag, it did not really matter. But either way, I had enough fuel just for the end of the race. And it's the restart that took me off by control. It was three wide, and then I got tagged along, and then all of a sudden, everybody just started dropping off like flies. And I'm like, okay, well, I might as well take this opportunity to go ahead and pass some cars. And Zach actually ended up putting up a pretty good battle, but I kind of forced him into a mistake in order for me to try to pass him. And then that's how I ended up getting podium and talking to you guys right now.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the nature of the beast, isn't it? In these Porsche Cups, it's not just going to be a one corner mistake that allows you the opportunity. You have to force a mistake from a few corners back. So the fact that you have that intelligence to be able to execute something like that is pretty great. To be able to recover as well, to also make that pit stop, to also be involved in that kerfuffle on the restart, be able to come back to a podium. Got to be feeling pretty high tonight, Onafree.
Yeah, pretty good. Especially that I literally don't have any racing experience around here at Hockenheimring. I'm not even kidding with you. The mobile game by EA, Real Racing 3, was the only time I have ever driven, quote unquote, on this track. So once the session started, that was literally all the racing time and practice times that I have done around here. So I got to say, I feel pretty good. I could definitely do better, but I can feel pretty good about it.
Well, my experience has been on the Hockenheim ring through iRacing Arcade. So if you ever want to throw down, I'll be right there with you, brother.
I am very tempted. I'm waiting for that offer soon.
Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank, Edwin?
I'd like to thank the Pixel Speed Sim Racing Lounge over at Murphy, Texas. It's DFW's only premier sim racing lounge. If you guys want to get your hands on some genuine equipment or hang around with some motorsport fans, you're more than welcome to come over. Shout out to Pixel Speed and shout out to the owner, Boston. And shout out to my friends and family as well as my coworkers from Discount Tire. I will be seeing them tomorrow and I'm letting them know I gave them a shout out for this one. And last but not least, shout out to you guys, the producers, the broadcasting team, you and team and the owner of the series, Warren Johnson, for creating this league. This was a good time for me because I've really never driven to peak up in officials, but this is a good way to make me get an understanding of it, and maybe eventually I will drive officials for it too. But other than that, thank you guys so much for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwin. Have a great night, and as always, stay safe out there, brother.
Sure thing. You too.
Let's go over to Brennan Myers next. Now, Brennan was able to come back in P2 at the end of the day. Now, Brennan, you had a pretty tough race and a really hard-fought battle with Nathaniel Redmond at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, it ended up being a pretty good race, better than I expected it to be up there in the front, especially after the restart with a little chaos up there in the front happening. But was able to get into a little bit of an incident and kind of crawl my way back up to kind of where I was running the majority of the race, basically.
Yeah, great recovery back up into P2. You had to have the pace. Now, did you put down a lot of laps here at the Hockenheim ring to get that pace, or did it come naturally to you?
I maybe did about an hour of practice and then looked at a little bit of data on it to see where I could gain a little bit more time. Ended up saving about a second and a half by just looking at the data alone.
Wow.
And then felt pretty comfortable at where I was at there.
Wow.
What didn't really have the best qualifier. I wrecked twice in qualifier, so I had to reset, which I haven't. That's probably the most time I wrecked in that 1 hour practice sessions I had. So I had to reset and was kind of feeling a little anxious about getting a good lap in, but ended up getting a lap good enough for fifth. So I kind of felt kind of comfortable in my pace for the race, starting at fifth.
Yeah, starting in the back, but worked your way forward. You were able to lead us for 4 of those laps. You had a very good fast lap, that 1:37.8 as well. Now, I have to ask, are you just a fan of Team Redline? Are you a member of Team Redline as well?
Oh, no, definitely just a fan of Team Redline.
Right on. Well, I had to ask. You never know. You never know,
Oh, yeah.
Especially in this league.
Yeah.
Right on, brother. Any final shout outs? Anybody you'd like to thank before I let you go?
I wanna thank you guys in the broadcast booth for always putting on a good show for us every couple days a week, actually, for this league. Warren for hosting the league, of course, putting in a lot of his time and effort into it. All the guys who show up as well, and kind of keep the ongoing shout outs for my cat alive. So I'm going to shout out my cat here as well. Always right here by my side.
Right on. Thank you very much, Brennan Myers, for joining us in the booth. Really appreciate you. And we'll see you next week here from V-Speed.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I think we can grab Nathaniel Redmond if we can. We'll have to go join him in the other room. Now, Nathaniel Redmond, you had a very exciting race, but were able to come out on top. Led us for 17 laps, started in second. How do you feel driving that number 6 to victory?
Man, I feel good. I had a lot of problems that race. I'm shocked I even got to finish, to be honest. I had my PC crashed twice, once in practice, once in the middle of qualifying. And I was expecting it to crash during the race, but thank God it didn't. I had a great race with Brennan. I mean, obviously, first of all, shout out Brennan. He had great pace. We raced really great there for a while. I hate that accident ended that, but no, shout out to him. It was a great race, and I think that ton of fun always, but man, I'm glad I somehow got through that without any incidents.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to get through a lot of those kerfuffles in the backfield that set some others apart or set some others further back, but you were fairly unscathed throughout this entire race, barring that one incident with the number 23. Pretty well paced for yourself. Now, did you think you had it in you to get the win out after you qualified in P2? I mean, there was nothing that separated you guys in qualifying.
Yeah, I think so. I think I knew I could go faster in quali. I had that PC crash, and I had my best lap right at the very end when the session ended, and I was like 10 seconds from the start finish. So I could have qualified P1 maybe, but yeah, I mean, shout out to Edwin as well. I think he ended up qualifying P1, and he had great pace as well. I think he went for a tire swap during the caution, if I remember correctly, and I think he ended up finishing third. So he did great for himself too. And everybody always races great in this league. I think that this is a huge step up from maybe this league a few seasons ago, and I think that everybody has a great time. Everybody's clean. Hate to see that accident again, but again, just shout out to everybody. It's been great.
You're absolutely right. The one thing that continuously impresses me is the level of craft and racing ability that is here at this league. It's one thing to go fast, or it's one thing to be able to hot lap and be quick, but to be able to do that on lines that you potentially have never driven before, or you're forced onto for the very first time in a race session, but still be able to survive them, is quite impressive.
Thank you.
So anybody you'd like to shout out, Nathaniel, or anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, thank you, Warren. Thank you, West Coast Sim Racing, for having me. It's always a blast. Wheelballoon.com if you want to swap wheels in your car, maybe test out some new wheels. That's about it.
Thank you very much, Nathaniel. Really appreciate you. Congratulations on the win. Go enjoy some champagne or some milk, whichever you prefer.
Will do. Thanks so much.
Take care.
You too.
Now waiting for Warren Johnson to make his way up to the V-Speed broadcast booth, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to do so. Want to give a big shout out and thanks to Warren Johnson, the War Dog himself. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for reaching out to us here at V-Speed and keeping us going with you guys. Has been an absolute joy to watch you guys race week after week, from the GR86 Cup on Monday nights at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time to the Porsche Cups now on Thursdays at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. It is a hoot to watch these guys go wheel to wheel, week after week, race after race. It is a grand old time. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to be your host. I am Sagar Bakshi on behalf of V-Speed. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye for now.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.